Today, I'm going to be showing you why I make a ragu like this one almost every week, and why I think you should too. But first, let me talk to you about my meal prep philosophy, and why I think it's so important to keep it simple. My week always runs so much smoother when I've cooked some food in bulk to have on hand when I'm either too busy or too lazy to make a meal for myself. When I don't do this, I spend way too much money on takeout food, and in moments of desperation, you'll see me sliding through the golden arches, or even skipping meals entirely. But it's not always easy to get off my butt and cook food for the week. So to increase my chances, I have some criteria. Number 1, it's gotta be simple. Ideally, whatever I'm making only involves a few base ingredients and not very many dishes, in this case just one big pot. I also like to leave myself some versatility. Ragus are great for this, and later I'll show you how to turn a ragu like this into a chili by using just a few simple ingredients. I start by taking a couple pounds of sweet Italian sausage, and I remove it all from its casing. You could also buy it out of the casing. When we're done here, go ahead and add some olive oil to a big stainless steel pot, or a Dutch oven would be great in this case too. Toss in the sausage, and don't worry about overcrowding the pan. When we're meal prepping, our goal is efficiency, and trust me, it's still going to taste delicious. Next, go in with a wooden spoon and try and break up the sausage as much as you can. While that's browning, I slice up 1 or 2 medium onions, which we add only after the sausage has browned a bit. If I started with the onion, it would burn. Adding it a bit later gives us the right amount of time to let them sweat and soften up. I'm adding a few cloves of crushed garlic, but really if you don't want to, you don't have to. Then go ahead and deglaze with some white wine, or don't. It's really not that big a deal. Again, our goal is to be efficient using mostly ingredients we already have in the house. Gordon Ramsay's not hiding in the cupboard waiting to call you dog. You can just skip right ahead to the next step, which is adding 2 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. I like Italian plum tomatoes, and the ingredients really should only include tomatoes, tomato puree, salt, sometimes basil leaves, and citric acid as a preservative. I like a little kick, so I've got some dried chilies that I'll simply crush and toss right in. Then just dump in the cans of tomatoes. Don't worry about pureeing them or crushing them with your hands in a big bowl. Once again, we're going for efficiency. Just crush them as much as you can with a wooden spoon when they're in the pot. Probably wouldn't be great if the only thing you're eating in the next few days is sausage, tomatoes, and onions, so we're adding kale. Actually, I really do enjoy kale in things like soup, stews, and sauces. The texture's nice, and those curly leaves soak up so much flavor. So I just chop it roughly, give it a rinse, and in it goes. It looks like a ton now, but of course, leafy greens like kale lose tons of water and reduce down to nothing. Sprinkle on some salt to help draw out that moisture. You'll notice we haven't seasoned much in this process. That's because the sausage is already quite salty, and the canned tomatoes are salted as well. So I just add a bit here, and then I adjust later once everything has simmered together for a while. The kale should soften after a few minutes, allowing you to stir it into the rest of the sauce. Then we just lower the heat and let it simmer for an hour or two, or at least until the kale stems become tender. Check back in after a while, and there we have it. You can taste for salt here, but we're pretty much done. I just let this cool and store it in containers for the week. Now I just put mine in the fridge, but it freezes fine as well if you'd like to store it longer term. So now it's the middle of the week, and you just got home from a long day of reviewing pizzas for Barstool, or managing the books at FTX, or whatever it is people do these days. And you want to whip up something quickly. I've got 2 simple preparations for you. Put a small pot of water to boil, and grab your favorite bronze cut pasta. Rigatoni is one of my favorite pasta shapes, especially for thick sauces and ragus. I stress bronze cut pasta because the bronze cut creates this rough, fuzzy edge that captures the sauce so much better than a Teflon cut pasta like Barilla or other cheaper brands. So don't forget to salt your water, and then just go ahead and dump in your pasta. And when it's almost done cooking, I set aside some pasta water because we might need it later. Throw the pasta back on the heat after you've strained it, and then start adding your ragu. If things are looking a little dry, just add some more pasta water. And now that everything's heated up and melded together nicely, it's time to plate. This is one of my favorite winter weeknight meals, and throwing it together only takes as long as the pasta cooks. Eventually, you might get sick of pasta. Don't worry, because this stuff is actually a lot more versatile than you'd think. Put some in a small pot or pan and stir it around while it heats up. Then grab yourself a can of beans? That's right, we're making chili. As Adam Ragusa will tell you, chili is just spicy tomato sauce with beans and meat. So just dump that in, bean juice included, before we add a very special proprietary spice blend called whatever the f you want. Seriously, just grab whatever you have in the cupboard and throw it in until it tastes good. I used coriander seed, cumin, chili powder, little turmeric, cardamom? Why not? Oregano's good too. Oh, and a sprinkle of salt. Stay with me here, I promise you this is delicious. I just threw it in a bowl and ate it with some tortilla chips and a little shredded cheese. Might not be the prettiest dish in the world, but it certainly makes for a very tasty and satisfying lunch. If you were to serve this to a friend as your chili recipe, they'd have no idea that you just transformed this out of a pasta sauce in about 3 minutes. If you made it this far in the video, please subscribe. I'm not going to be posting quite as much in the next couple weeks, but I have really big plans for 2023. I'm going to be moving to one of the great capitals of Europe, a beautiful city full of excellent food, great restaurants, butchers, bakers, cheese shops, stinky cheeses, cigarette breath, red wine, rats, vermin, pigeons, also known as sky rats, trash, litter, beautiful architecture, fashion, all of the above. It is by far my favorite city on the planet. If you can't guess what it is already, which you can, it will be revealed to you in a future episode. So go ahead and subscribe. You'll be one of the OGs here with me as we grow in subscribers and in views, and it means the world to me. So thank you, and I will see you soon.